Pay close attention. The majority of men are living in a prison they can't see. They aren't trapped by steel bars, but by a psychological cage built from thoughts they never chose. They are confined by dogmas inherited from others and anxieties that exist only in the shadows of their own imagination. You might believe you are the master of your fate, but the truth is far darker. Your mind has been occupied. From your earliest years, your parents, your schooling, the social order, and the media have been installing their own software into your consciousness. Before you could even form a complex sentence, they had already programmed your limitations. Now, you spend your life running their scripts, fighting their wars, and fearing the ghosts they created for you. But here is the secret they are desperate to keep hidden. Your mind is the ultimate weapon, and right now, someone else has their hand on the trigger. Niccolo Machiavelli understood a fundamental truth that most men ignore until it's too late. Reality doesn't belong to the loudest voice. It belongs to the man who dictates the narrative. Not the story the world tells, but the one playing inside your own head. Your thoughts are the architects of your emotions. Those emotions dictate your actions, and those actions construct your physical reality. If you can control the first domino, you command the entire sequence. This isn't just theory or positive thinking. This is applied dark psychology. This is the mechanics of power. A true fortress isn't built of stone. It is forged from mental discipline. And right now, I'm going to show you how to construct it. Comment, "I control the narrative," if you are ready to seize back your mind. Step 2. The blueprint of the fortress. Weak men have a fatal misunderstanding of strength. They think it's found in physical aggression, loud voices, or dominating others through force. That is primitive. That is the survival instinct of the insecure. Genuine power is subtle. It operates in the shadows. It moves through calculated, cold logic. Machiavelli didn't just conquer with an army. He conquered by deciphering human nature, predicting the moves of his enemies, and manipulating perception. Your mind is either your most lethal asset or your most dangerous liability. There is no middle ground. Every stray thought you leave unchecked is a breach in your defenses. Every emotion you fail to master is a vulnerability that your rivals will exploit. And make no mistake, you do have rivals. There are people who profit from your confusion, your fear, and your lack of focus. They want you distracted. They want you reactive. Why? Because an emotional man is a controllable man. The construction of your fortress begins with one core principle: detachment. Not indifference, but detachment. You must learn to observe your thoughts without becoming them. You must feel your emotions without allowing them to sit in the driver's seat. You see the social game for what it is, and you choose your moves with intent. This is the line that separates you from the 99%. While they react, you respond. While they are triggered, you remain calculated. While they operate on impulse, you operate on strategy. Your mind becomes a fortress when external chaos can no longer penetrate your internal state. When insults lose their sting, when rejection fails to move you, and when failure is simply a data point, this is mental sovereignty. This is the hallmark of the master. It starts with the decision that you are the sole architect of your inner world. No one else gets a key. Comment, mental sovereignty, if you're dedicated to building your fortress. Step 3. The saboteur within. Your most dangerous opponent isn't out there. It's not your boss, your competitors, or the people who doubt you. Your greatest enemy is the voice in your head that sounds like you, but works for them. That voice has been conditioned to sabotage your potential. It tells you that you aren't ready, that you're an imposter, or that you don't deserve the win. It plays your past mistakes on a loop and magnifies your flaws. The most insidious part is that you believe it. You think that voice is being realistic or protective. It's not. It's the echo of every person who ever told you to stay in your lane. Dark psychology reveals that the heaviest chains are the ones we cannot see. Most men carry these mental shackles their entire lives and mistake them for their personality. They say, "I'm just not the type to lead," and they accept a cage that was never theirs. The fortress requires you to identify this internal saboteur. You must distinguish between the thoughts that serve your mission and the ones that serve your enslavement. Machiavelli knew that self-deception is the father of all failure. A man who lies to himself cannot see the battlefield. You must become ruthlessly honest with your internal dialogue. Catch the excuses, catch the victim stories, and when you find them, you must execute them. Not with good vibes, but with cold evidence and logic. This is the purge. This is how you reclaim your mental territory. Comment, "I execute weakness," if you're ready to kill the enemy within. Step 4. The art of emotional alchemy. Emotions are not a flaw. The flaw is believing you are your emotions. This distinction is the threshold of power. Weak men try to bury their feelings. They build brittle walls and call it stoicism. But eventually, the pressure builds and they explode in rage or desperation. That isn't control, that's a ticking time bomb. The strategist, the Machiavellian man, does something far more effective. He practices emotional alchemy. He feels the heat, but he uses it to forge a tool. Anger is transmuted into the fuel for discipline. Fear is decoded into data for better preparation. Jealousy is used as a compass to identify what he truly desires. If someone disrespects you, the weak man reacts instantly to protect his ego. He shows the world he is hurt. The master feels the sting, acknowledges it, and then asks, "What is the most strategic move here? Does this person even matter? Is a confrontation beneficial, or is silent exclusion more damaging?" He chooses his response based on the desired outcome, not the current feeling. Your emotions are your advisors, not your kings. The king listens to the advice, then he makes the final call. When anger rises, pause. Observe it like a scientist looking at a specimen. Interesting. I am experiencing anger. Why? What is the smartest way to use this energy? When you do this, fear loses its grip. You aren't numb. You are calibrated. You feel everything, but you bow to nothing. Step 5. The illusion of fixed reality. The world told you that reality is a fixed, objective thing. That is a lie designed to keep you passive. Reality is not what happens to you. It is how you interpret what happens. Think about two men who both lose their business. One man sees it as proof that he's a failure. He falls into a spiral of victimhood. His reality becomes, "The world is rigged." The other man sees it as a necessary pruning. He views it as freedom from a model that wasn't working. His reality becomes, "I am being prepared for a bigger play." Same event, two different universes. Neither is more true, but only one leads to power. Machiavelli understood that the prince who controls the interpretation of events controls the people. You are the prince of your own consciousness. Most men view the world through a lens they inherited from their parents or their trauma. They wonder why life feels so heavy, never realizing they can change the filter. Strategic perception isn't about being positive. It's about choosing the frame that gives you the most leverage. An obstacle is either a stop sign or a filter that removes your competition. You decide which one it is. If you control the interpretation, you control everything downstream. Step 6. The laws of social warfare. Whether you like it or not, every human interaction is a form of warfare. It's a battle for frame, the struggle to decide who defines the reality of the moment. Society taught you that social life is about being liked. That's a lie. Every conversation has a power dynamic. You are either setting the frame or you are living inside someone else's. When someone criticizes you, they are launching a strike. They want you to become defensive. to explain yourself, and to seek their approval. If you start justifying your actions, you've already lost. You've accepted the frame that they are the judge and you are the defendant. The Machiavellian man doesn't defend, he reframes. He might say, "That's an interesting perspective," and move on. Or he might use agree and amplify. If someone calls him arrogant, he might smile and say, "You're right, I should probably be even more arrogant." Suddenly, the critic looks foolish. The frame has flipped. People will test your boundaries constantly, showing up late, making jokes at your expense, or disrespecting your time. This isn't personal, it's biological. Humans test for hierarchy. The weak man fails by letting it slide. The master passes by, setting immediate, unemotional consequences. If you disrespect my time, you lose access to it. No yelling, no drama, just cold, calculated distance. This is how you train the world to respect you. Step 7. The discipline of detachment. Here is the paradox of power. The more you need something, the more it runs from you. Neediness is a repellent. Desperation is a scent that everyone can smell. And it signals weakness. The more you chase approval, the less respect you receive. This is the mathematics of the fortress. Detachment is the art of wanting something, while being perfectly fine if you never get it. Machiavelli noted that the leader who clings too tightly to his position is the first to lose it. When you signal that you can walk away from a deal, a relationship, or a job, you suddenly hold all the leverage. Look at your past. The relationships where you were all in and desperate usually ended in disaster. The ones where you were outcome independent, where you enjoyed the person but didn't need them, are the ones that thrived. The fortress requires internal abundance. You must reach a state where external wins enhance your life but do not define your soul. Your biology will fight this. Your ego wants certainty. But gripping tight creates tension, and tension leads to breaking. Be the reed that bends, not the oak that snaps. Practice this in small ways. If someone doesn't text back, notice the anxiety and then deliberately choose not to care. Your worth is not determined by a notification. Step 8. The power of strategic silence. Most men talk far too much. They think they need to fill the silence to feel comfortable or to prove their intelligence. This is a massive mistake. Words are ammunition. If you fire constantly, you reveal your position and run out of resources. Machiavelli knew that the most potent communication is often what is left unsaid. Silence creates an aura of mystery, and mystery creates authority. When you over-explain, you give people the tools to judge and manipulate you. When you remain silent, they are forced to fill the void with their own insecurities. They begin to wonder what you're thinking, and that wonder turns into respect. Powerful people speak less but say more. They gather information while others are busy trying to be heard. Silence as a tool. While they talk, they reveal their blueprints. You just take notes. Silence as a power move. When someone accuses you, don't rush to speak. Let the silence get awkward. Let them be the ones to break it. Silence as a consequence. When someone crosses a line, don't argue. Withdraw your attention entirely. Silence is the ultimate social death. Step 9. The ruthless purge. You cannot maintain a fortress while the people inside are trying to tear it down. This applies to your habits, your beliefs, and your social circle. At some point, you must be willing to cut the dead weight. This is where most men fail, because they are afraid of being lonely or appearing cold. So they keep toxic friends and lazy habits, wondering why they never level up. Machiavelli was blunt. A leader who cannot make difficult decisions will be destroyed by them. Look at your life. Who drains your energy? Who only calls when they need a favor? who makes you feel small. These people are anchors. Cut the rope. You don't need a long speech. Just drift away. The same goes for your vices. Scrolling, porn, junk food. These are not just bad habits. They are escape hatches from reality. They keep you comfortable in a life you should be trying to change. The fortress requires you to face the discomfort of growth. You have to burn down the old version of yourself to provide the heat for the new one. Step 10. The fortress stands. We have reached the end of the blueprint, but the work is just beginning. Deep down, you already knew everything I've told you today. You knew you were capable of more. You knew you were settling for a life designed by someone else. Now, you have the framework. You have the Machiavellian mindset. But remember, knowledge is just a form of entertainment unless it is backed by action. You can close this video and return to your old patterns. Most men will. They prefer the safety of their cage over the danger of freedom. Or you can decide that today is the day the old you dies. The fortress is built one brick at a time, one decision at a time. Every time you choose logic over emotion, every time you hold your frame, every time you choose silence over validation, you are laying a brick. Human nature hasn't changed in 500 years. The game is the same. The only question is, are you a piece on the board, or are you the one moving them? You aren't here for a motivational boost. You are here for mastery. If you are ready to build your fortress, hit the like button and subscribe. I will continue to provide the cold, hard truths that others are too afraid to mention.